Hey guys, it's me, Magic Jack 24 here. Today I'm going to be doing, well, just a bit of a. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing for this video, as I know I'm just going to make it short, since honestly I have a lot to do tomorrow, which is mainly just moving into an apartment for college, and then readjusting myself to the college schedule, because I'm being thrown right back into the fire right after I'm off the frying pan, cooling down a vacation, and I'm being thrown straight back into the fire of college, which that should be good. It'd be good, but just have to get used to going to a new room and stuff, into a new location and stuff. I'm not sure how the internet is going to be over there in my new apartment place thing, so. But I do know that hopefully it should be good enough for me to, well, continue making videos and be able to upload them on a basis, and I wouldn't have to record them like very early for me. But yeah. Anyways, besides that, it's been just honestly a bit of a tough week for me since it's been a little since, as I've mentioned in like my video, like it's been a while, but one of my pals, one of my buddies who's been my brother, well, it's really my dog, Murray, since his passing, it's been tough, since it's like whenever I go and hang out with the other two dogs, I'm always expecting him to be there. Whenever I go into the room he and the other two dogs share, it's like I go in there and then it's like I'm like, wait, is he behind the couch per usual? Because sometimes he lays behind the couch, a bit out of view. Well, he did, and now it's just a sad reality where I just can't get over myself, where I just at times feel like, oh, he's here, where is he? And then it's the realization, because to some extent my mind hasn't fully processed it. It has processed that he's no longer with us, and that, no, he's no longer going to be around, but that doesn't stop my brain from being like, oh, maybe he's just away. I'm not sure what exactly causes me to think that. I'm not saying that it's a sign of weakness or anything, as I know this is normal for grieving when you're readjusting after grieving someone that you really cared for. But for me, this is just a bit tougher, since I have to go back and leave the other two dogs like right after this time, you know, and they are curious to what's been happening as I've been hanging out with them more than usual. It's, well, I mean, in general, I usually do hang out with them if I'm ever at home, but usually I spend like yeah, 60% of my day usually with them, and then the other percentage either working out or taking a bath, because I like taking baths and they're very relaxing. But yeah, it's just been tough, just going over with them and even going over to feed them, because at times I'm ready preparing Murray's bowl, and then I'm like, oh, right. And I get pretty, not fully upset, but just down, since stuff. And honestly, it's just a bit tough for me, but I can keep myself going and it should be fine. Just one of those. It's just one of those things where I'm gonna miss him, and my other two dogs, Bailey and Moo, both miss him since they don't even go into the area of the room where they share where he would used to lay down at and sit on other sides the couch or behind the couch. It's just sad, and honestly it's just tough for them. And my main my main worry is honestly with them, since to me, as I've mentioned a few times before, all of my dogs I view as an extension of my siblings. Granted, I only have one sister, and well, a few other siblings that I know of, but that's a whole other video for me to talk about, since I'm technically adopted. But since I've been adopted from day one, I never viewed any of my families, not my family or stuff like that. They've raised me all my life. That's all I've known. So it barely comes up to me. But for siblings, I know that I didn't really have exactly the best relationship with my sister growing up. I mean, don't get me wrong, we can share a good moment here and there, but it's rocky to say the least. And honestly, I always found comfort in dogs because at times my sister would be away, because for high school she was away for like a boarding school thing for like 4 years, and then she went straight into college after that. So that went for a pretty long while. While of just being alone and hanging out with the dog, since I mainly stayed here at home, and yeah, pretty much I've grown a pretty close reliance on dogs to help me with the emotional support, mainly with Murray and Bailey for physical comfort, and with Moo, it's just kind of that oh, like, oh, my little baby, let me help you, let me do something, kind of feels good. But it's just tough without Murray, since he was always the one I went to for emotional support out of the dogs, because he always felt quite good about it. And yeah, I know I'm probably sounding like a broken clock, but I am just kind of documenting how I'm dealing with this, since I'm genuinely curious and wondering on how I would view this in the future. Granted, I'm not expecting this to be something that I'll continue on doing, but considering this is within literally a week of it happening, I know my feelings for this is going to be strong and it's going to be tough, but it's something that I know I can get over and will go through. When I say get over, I don't mean like, oh, I'll forget this completely or anything, like I'll forget him. No, no, because I'll never forgive him. But forget him. No, I'll forgive him all I want. All I want. All I want. He gave me the best years of my childhood, all the way up through my teenage years, and plus he helped me make me feel not really lonely, since I'll admit I'm not exactly the most social guy. I'm not exactly known for having a lot of friends. I mean, I think at most my friend group that I know normally is usually like maybe 6 people in total that I actively keep in touch with. Granted, I haven't hung out with them in a while in person, at least, but we keep in touch at least, which is nice. It's just going to be tough going back to college with him gone, since although I was always worried that this would happen while I'm away at college, I'm kind of glad it happened while I was home, so that way I could be there for him and be able to say my goodbyes to him and keep him happy, since I knew I was kind of his favorite. Granted, he liked all of us, but as mentioned before, I had a pretty close bond with him as I would act with him like I would with like a sibling my age, and practically we would just hang out, play video games together. Well, actually, I would play the video games, and he'd just sit beside me, and we would both lay on each other, cuddle, grieve together. Since yeah, yeah. Honestly, this shouldn't be a video that is something that I'm just doing at the moment, just to kind of get a few things off my mind. Really is. As much as I want to continue on, being happy to some extent, part of me will never truly fully be happy again, partially because I'm just missing the being that helped me in a lot of ways to be happier in a sense, because I knew he was always there for me. I know that the other two dogs are there for me, but I don't think they fully understand or get why my Murray was more of my personal favorite. That's not for me to say that I don't love all my dogs. No, I love them all equally as siblings, but as I mentioned, I viewed them in like a different sibling ranges. Murray's my emotional support guy since he's been good. He's been a pal, he's been a buddy, he's been someone that I could always rely on to always be happy to see me, which I could also rely on Bailey for that, but to be honest, Bailey's happy to see anyone, so I mean, that's not like that. And Moo's partially happy to see me at times, because sometimes she can be very happy. Other times, oh boy, she can get very bored of me because I would just keep snuggling her, picking her up, and then trapping her underneath me by just laying on top of her. Well, not really, as I would just lift myself right above her, and then just snuggle her like that. It'll be quite fun, but it's just not the same without him, and it won't be. But I have to do what most humans do with grief, and that is moving on. And as much as I want to say that moving on would be an easier task, it's not. But I expect it to impact my college work? No, I do not, but I do think it will definitely impact some aspect of just what I do socially in college for a little while, since I need time to process and grieve. Since at the time of recording this, it's been nearly a week since it happened. And I have a feeling tomorrow is going to be very tough for me, since not only am I moving and stuff, it's also going to be week of the day that my buddy was taken away from me, and it'll be tough since I don't think I'll ever remember January 3rd as a happy day for me. Unless far, 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 far into the future, either my kids or grandkids are born on that day, then I'll probably see it as a happy day, but for now, it'll just be a sad day for me. Since that's the day I lost my buddy, lost a brother. I'm sorry for rambling like this. I just wanted to get these stuff off my mind before I forgot, since it's genuinely being quite honestly regretful that I didn't spend too much time with my dogs over the summer. Granted, I did as much time as I could, but I wish I could have done more with them. And I'm glad that I got to spend time with Murray while I could. Good, since it always made me happy being around him, and plus he was always the best boy. He was easily the family favorite. because he was just a good dog, a good lab. I don't miss him terribly, but well, we'll have to learn to move on from it. And honestly, it's not to say that will I ever forget him. No, no, but it'll just be tough for me. I'm not sure why I'm rambling to y'all about this. I guess to some extent. I'm just trying to offer a bit of a hand for anyone that has experienced some level degree of loss like this. Since I know this isn't the same as like losing a family member or stuff like that, or not to the same extent to some people, but to me, this is literally like if I lost my sister to some extent. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a weird comparison to make, but that's honestly how I truly feel about it. Where I just feel awkward going down with the dogs, feeding them. It's like it's just not the same without them, and it's not the same. It's not the same without him being down. Since I'm oftentimes like, "Oh hey guys, what are you all doing?" And it's like, "Where's Merman?" And then I'm like, "Oh, right." And and then I gotta fight myself not to be sad, since I want to be happy for my other two dogs. Keeping them in a happy mood places me in a happy mood, since it prevents them from feeling sad. But deep down, I know that they know that he's gone, and I gotta keep them happy and distracted from that pain. Anyways, I think I've done enough rambling for today. As I got a lot off my chest. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.